Hello everyone, I am Madhurima Chakravarti. I am a PhD student in the Department of Physics in IIT Guwahati. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present my work. So I'll talk on the topic fast flavor supernova neutrino conversions in 3 flavors. So the plan of my talk is as follows. First, I'll introduce the topic, then the fast oscillations, then nonlinear analysis, and finally conclusion. Now, what is a core collapse supernova? So, a core collapse, of course, a supernova occurs from the death of a massive star whose mass is greater than 8 times mass of Sun. So, supernova is of two types: Type 1, Type 2. Type 2 supernova is also known as core collapse supernova, where 99% of the gravitational energy is emitted as neutrinos of the order of 10 to the power 58, and the average energy of the neutrinos is around 10 MeV, and it is emitted within 10 seconds. So, these neutrinos, they act as a rich source of information. So, this is the figure of supernova 1987A. Now, these neutrinos are emitted in three phases. Neutronization burst phase, where, as you can see, that the flux of the electron type of neutrino is the highest, and the other flavors are negligible. Whereas in accretion phase, the other flavors are also emitted in substantial amounts. And in the cooling phase, all the three flavors have the similar fluxes. Similarly, there is a pattern in the average energy of the three flavors. Now, these neutrinos, after getting emitted from the supernova, so now the neutrinos emit from the surface called neutrinosphere. Now, near the neutrinosphere, the neutrino density is so high that neutrino-neutrino interactions takes place, due to which collective oscillations takes place. And then the usual MSW resonance and then the vacuum oscillations takes place before the neutrinos reach to the Earth. Now, what we are interested in is the evolution of the neutrinos. Now, the neutrinos evolve according to this Liouville equation. So here H is the Hamiltonian, which consists of three terms: H vacuum, H matter, and H nu nu term. And this H nu nu is responsible for collective oscillations. So the rho is the neutrino density matrix, which is general form is given like this. Now the diagonal elements correspond to the overall flavor element, and the off diagonal elements is responsible for flavor conversion. And the vacuum and matter terms are given like this. Now this H nu nu term, which is the nu nu interaction term, now as you can see, it contains this rho, and due to the presence of rho here, this makes this equation nonlinear, and thus it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult to solve it analytically as well as numerically. It is a very challenging task. So what is mainly studied is the growth of this off-diagonal element. So if the off-diagonal element grows, that means that instability is there, which indicates that flavor conversion takes place. Also note that this neutrino-neutrino interaction term, this integration is consists of both the energy part as well as the angular part. Now, the collective oscillations, now they are governed by the overall oscillations are governed by three factors: omega, which is the vacuum frequency, the matter term lambda, and the neutrino density mu. So if the driving frequency is omega, then which is of the order of 1 kilometer inverse, so then it is called slow oscillations, and it occurs 10 to the power 2 kilometers from the neutrinosphere, and the growth rate is proportional to omega. And here you can see the survival probability of electron, which reduces from 1 to a small value within few hundred kilometers. And here it shows the spectrum. Spectrum G omega is basically the difference between the fluxes of neutrinos and antineutrinos. So that is energy dependent. Now, if this driving factor is neutrino density mu, which is of the order of 10 to the power 5 kilometer inverse, then it is fast oscillations, which may occur just above the neutrinosphere, where the growth rate is proportional to mu. And here you can see that the survival probability that decreases from 1 within few nanoseconds. And here the spectrum is dependent on angular distribution. So here, this is an example. So this shows the distribution of nu e and nu e bar, and GV is the difference of the fluxes of nu e and nu e bar. So in some directions, the flux of nu e is greater than nu e bar, and in some direction, the flux of nu e bar is greater than nu e, and thus there is a crossing in the spectrum, which is an important factor for the fast oscillations to occur. Now, So first we see the fast oscillation in the two flavor case. Now, generally what is done is that, so in the two flavor case, there is only one off diagonal element. So this is the evolution equation of the that off diagonal element rho e mu, which can be written like this. And we are interested in the evolution of this off diagonal element S. So in the linearized form, we can write the equation like this. So here we note that the evolution that is dependent on this difference of the fluxes of neutrinos and antineutrinos. So now in the fast oscillations case, now this omega, that is the vacuum term, even if it tends to zero, fast oscillations takes place. So this vacuum term acts only as a seed to the fast oscillations, and the growth rate is proportional to mu. And the spectrum that is dependent on the angular distribution, and the important factor is that there should be a crossing in the spectrum. So this GV, that is the spectrum, so there should be a crossing in the GV. This is an important factor for the fast oscillations. So this is just to show that since fast oscillation depend on angular distributions, and different flavors of neutrinos have different angular distributions. Here you can see the different colored arrows shows the different flavors of neutrinos, and since their interactions are different, so they are emitted, different flavors of neutrinos are emitted at different radii, and thus their fluxes are also different. So the fast oscillations in two flavors. So the main thing is ELN. There is something known as ELN, which is electron-lepton number, which we define as this GB, which is basically the difference of the fluxes of electron neutrino and electron antineutrino, that is F nu E minus F nu E bar. So the main factor or the necessary condition for fast flavor conversion is that there should be a zero crossing in this GB. That is, in some direction, the F nu E should be greater than F nu E bar, and in the other direction, F nu E bar should be greater than F nu E, and then there will be a crossing in GV. So this is just an example. For a specific value of A and B, you see this GV that has a crossing. So this was all about this was all about two flavor, which has been done till now. So in this case, in the two flavor case, it is assumed that since there are no muons present in the ordinary matter, so therefore we take the fluxes of the muon neutrinos, antineutrinos, and the tau neutrinos and antineutrinos to be similar, and therefore the whole three flavor problem reduces to an effective two flavor problem. But here in this paper, what we have done is we have taken all the three flavors, and thus we have three evolution equations, because now we have three off diagonal elements. So rho can be written like this, and we are interested in the evolution of this S1p, S2p, and S3p, whose evolution equation can be written like this, where J is 1, 2, 3. So here, these equations, there are three independent equations. At the linear level, these are three independent equations. But at the non-linear level, since all these equations will be coupled, so the growth of one off diagonal can affect the other off diagonals, can lead to the other off diagonal elements to grow. So in the fast flavor limit, we have 3 GVs now, because now we have the third flavor also. So earlier there was only the difference of F nu E minus F nu E bar, which was known as ELN. But now, since we have taken the fluxes of the heavy flavor neutrinos to be different, so therefore now we have this additional terms, due to which we have now 3 GVs. So these we call as F mu ln and tau ln. Similar to ELN, the differences between the fluxes of muon neutrino and muon antineutrino is known as mu ln, and the difference between the fluxes of tau neutrinos and tau antineutrinos to be tau ln. And here you can see that if you take the two flavor assumption, that is F nu mu is equal to F nu mu bar, F nu tau is equal to F nu tau bar, so this reduces to the two flavor case, that is this reduces to the ELN. So this is motivated from the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, that in the ordinary matter, only electrons are present. So the electron neutrinos and antineutrinos, they are created from the pair processes as well as the electron capture and positron capture processes. Whereas since there are no muons and tauns in the environment, so the heavy flavor neutrinos are only created through the pair processes, and thus their fluxes are taken to be similar. But if we consider that muons are also present in the environment, which has been shown in this paper by R. Bollig et al., where they say that in the accretion phase, the temperatures are so high that there is a possibility of creation of muons also. So then similar charge current reactions can also take place for muons, and thus the muon neutrinos and antineutrinos can be produced, and now there will be an asymmetry between the number of muon neutrinos and antineutrinos, and thus so here they show the luminosity and the average energy. This red line curve is when the muons are present, and black is when muons are not present. So we can see that the luminosities as well as the average energies are greater when the muons are taken into account. So motivated from this, in this paper, we have shown that what is the effect of the third flavor on the fast flavor oscillation. So muons, so in this paper, it has been said that muons may be present in early accretion phase, so that increases the luminosity and average energy of the other two flavors. So we study the fast oscillations in the nonlinear picture with the addition of this third flavor. So now, these are some of the examples to show what can be the effect of the third flavor. So first case can be that suppose in two flavor, there is ELN which has a crossing. So in two flavor case, there will be an instability. But as we add the third flavor, now this G E mu, G E tau, and G mu tau, none of them have the crossings. So the crossing vanishes. So due to which now there will be no instability in any sector from the linear stability analysis. Now, the second case is that initially in ELN, there was no crossing, so there was no instability. But now with the addition of third flavor, E mu and E tau develops a crossing. So therefore, at the linear level, this E mu, E tau will also have some instability. And third case is that when there is an instability in the ELN, in the two flavor case, but in the three flavor case, only mu tau has a crossing, E mu E tau doesn't have a crossing, so therefore there is an instability only the mu tau case. So these are the three examples which shows that what can be the effect of the third flavor. Either it can erase the crossing which was there in the two flavor case, or it can enhance the crossing which was there in the two flavor case. So in our paper, we have done the nonlinear analysis in three flavors. So this is the evolution equation, and here rho is the Hamiltonian, which consists of vacuum term, matter term, and nu-nu interaction term. Now here, since we study fast oscillation, so vacuum term is taken to be 0. We neglect the matter terms also, and we study only the temporal evolution. So the nu-nu interaction term, they govern the whole dynamics of the problem. So these are the numerical examples which we have taken. So the first example is that here you can see this dotted blue line. This is basically the two flavored ELN. So there is a crossing in the two flavored case. But with the addition of the third flavor, you can see that G E mu, E tau, mu tau, none of them have a crossing. So when we study the growth of the off-diagonal element, we see that the two flavor off-diagonal element that grows because there was a crossing. But since in three flavor there was no crossing, so the off-diagonal elements doesn't grow. So this is an example which shows that how the addition of the third flavor that erases the crossing, and thus the instability vanishes. The second case is where there was a crossing in the ELN, and with the addition of the third flavor, E mu and E tau also develops a crossing. So at the linear level, we should expect that E mu, E tau will grow, but there should not be any growth in mu tau. But what we see here that at the non-linear level, all the three off-diagonals grow. So this is an example to show that at the non-linear level, in the three flavor case, even if one off diagonal grow, that can lead to the growth of the other off diagonal elements also. Third example is which shows that there was no crossing in the ELN, but with the addition of third flavor, mu tau develops a crossing. So in the nonlinear picture, mu tau off diagonal element grows. And the fourth case is also where there is a crossing in ELN, and with the addition of third flavor, E mu, E tau, mu tau, all the three have a crossings, but here the crossings are in backward direction for E mu, E tau, but the off diagonals grow. So these four examples clearly shows that what can be the effect of the third flavor. Either it can erase the crossing, and thus it is possible that in two flavor case, what we are considering as instability, in the three flavor case, it may vanish, or the vice versa. So this shows that it is important to consider or to do the complete three flavor analysis, because it may happen sometimes that the two flavor information may be misleading, or it can be incomplete, because it may happen that what we are thinking of as instability in the two flavor is actually not an instability when we see the complete picture. So in this way, the three flavor analysis is important. So the conclusion is that the non-negligible mu-ln and tau-ln can enhance or suppress the crossings in ELN, so they will have an effect on the first flavor conversions. So we have done a non-linear analysis of that, where we considered simple toy examples. So this explained the importance of the need of the detailed three flavor analysis. And further, this is an appeal to the simulators that in the future muon simulations, if they consider the complete three flavor picture, that can explain the effect in case of realistic situations. Thank you.